I ask that you come onto your back for this particular evening meditation. And I don't know what the weather's like where you are, but it's still kind of chilly here, so you might want to have a blanket that you can put over you, and you might want to have a pillow underneath your head, and you might want to be on a surface that is comfortable enough that you can stay there for about 15 or 20 minutes. So making your way into that spot, onto your back, and just allowing yourself to bring your body into this horizontal relationship with gravity, to lay on your back and probably to close your eyes so that you can eliminate all of the visual distractions. And hopefully you're in a place where it's quiet enough. There might be background noise, and that's totally fine because there always is. No matter where you are, there's not really anywhere that's completely free of that. Even if you were out in a field in nature, there would still be noises. You might hear birds or the wind or the sounds of the weather, things like that. But in your home, there's obviously always going to be background noise. So just bringing yourself into your spot, supporting your neck and your head. And sometimes it's nice to put a pillow underneath like your knees or your thighs, just to allow the knees to bend and to let the lower back ease a little bit. And let your arms come down by your sides, bringing the backs of your hands to the floor or to the surface that you're laying on, letting your palms be open. And just start to bring yourself into the awareness of your breath. So you might start by just kind of observing the breath without changing it or manipulating it at all. So you might just start to feel the breath coming in and out through your nose and noticing what the breath feels like. Does it feel deep? Does it feel shallow? Does it feel interrupted? Is it smooth? Can you feel it moving your rib cage, your belly? So just noticing. And then you might start to bring in a little deeper breath. And as you do that, you might maybe bring one hand to your belly for a moment and just feel as you inhale that your belly expands. And then as you exhale, you might feel the belly softly contracting a little bit. So there's room for the respiratory diaphragm to move in your belly. And you might be able to feel your rib cage expanding and contracting with the breath. So if it's quiet enough in your house, you also might be able to hear the sound of the breath, just the gentle sound of the breath coming and going. So maybe starting to bring in a little bit more air and exhale a little bit more. So it's just a little bit more of a full and complete breath. Just letting it be easy, no strain in your breath. Noticing if there's places where you're resisting. So you might feel some tightness somewhere in your rib cage, or maybe even in your belly. So just allowing those feelings of restriction or of resistance to fade and to relax. And noticing if there's any kind of constriction at all in your throat with the breath. And so if there's any feeling of that, you can just kind of readjust your head and neck so that everything feels like it's very open and the breath is coming in easily in your nose. Hi, Laura. and down into your lungs. And then exiting your body the same way, of course. So just feeling the rhythm of the breath. You can let it be natural. You don't need to have a deep breath, but let it be conscious. And then you might start to do a little more further exploration of places where you're feeling resistance or tightness. So that could be in your face, your jaw, possibly. You might notice it in your neck. So see if you can really release and allow everything to be very heavy. So really feeling the full weight of your head. And this is kind of weird, but even maybe the full weight of your eyeballs in your skull. Let them be very heavy. Of course, they're attached, so they're not going to completely sink back into your skull, but see if you can connect with the structures of your eyes. Not just your eyeballs, but the little muscles around the back of the eyes, the delicate eyelids, eyelashes. Just feeling all of that kind of softening. Letting your eyelids be very relaxed over the eyes. You can feel the little bit of tears that are in your eyes that make everything comfortable. Feeling the area around your temples relaxing. If you want to bring your hands up and rub your temples and press into your temples a little bit, you could do that. And then just release and bring your arms back down by your sides. And just feel that those muscles are softening in the temples. And let your jaw be slightly parted. So there's no tension holding your teeth together or in the muscles around the jaw. It's all very relaxed and comfortable. Letting your tongue relax in the bottom of your mouth. Letting the tip of your tongue be still. Feeling the softness in the shoulders. So you might feel it in these trap muscles. These are kind of the ones that we often feel a lot of tension in from keeping our head forward during the day. But now your head is back and it's being held by gravity on the surface that you're laying on. So you don't have to have any engagement, really. You can just release, especially if you have your neck supported. Focus on relaxing. Yeah, you know, even if there is a spider in your bed, Laura, it's probably a benevolent spider. Most spiders are pretty harmless. There's very few that would bite you. But it's probably gone anyway. So feeling how you're kind of drooling a little bit and your tongue is so soft and relaxed and the cheeks are so relaxed that it's almost like you're salivating a little bit, which is actually very relaxing. And let the bridge of your nose be wide. So there's plenty of room for the air to come in and out through your nose. So let your nose feel very spacious as the air comes in and out. And feeling really relaxed in your neck and supported also, letting the neck be supported. So all of the structures of your neck, including the bones, the vertebrae, the discs, and then all of the musculature and the connective tissue around your neck and the skin, all of that is soft and releasing and relaxing. There's not much needed to hold your neck in place. Sometimes we have patterns of holding that are so habitual that we don't even notice them. And right now, you don't need to hold on to your head. It can be supported right where it is. Oh, I'm glad you caught him and released him, Laura. And then feel the broadness of your back and shoulders against the surface that you're on. So your shoulder blades are heavy and they're wide. And you can feel your spine, all the bones of the spine gently pressing into the surface that you're on. You can imagine, as we're upright and we're walking around all day and sitting and doing whatever else we're doing, our spine compresses a little bit throughout the day, and we can do things to counter that, including getting our bodies into different positions, like we do maybe in yoga or other practices. But we can also just imagine as we're laying here that there's kind of like a loosening that's happening and a lengthening in the spine, so that you're able to really lay back and feel the bones and all of those muscles around the bones letting go in the bones of your spine. And so your spinal cord has just a little bit more space around it. Everything is open in your spinal cord, in the vertebrae that protect your spinal cord. Nothing is pressing on your spine anywhere, no discs, nothing. So it's very open. And so all of the information in your body and the nervous system is flowing freely. Sometimes we can think about our body as a whole bunch of tubes. That's one way to think about it. All of these systems in our body are tubes. The tubes of our digestive system, our respiratory system, our circulatory system. And we want everything to be moving. We want those tubes to be open. We don't want things to be blocked or obstructed. Same with the nervous system. So you can kind of imagine that there's just like this flow happening in your body, this flow of breath, the flow of blood, of various other fluids in your body, the movement of your digestion. All of these things are happening fluidly, and everything is moving freely and flowing. So there's a good flow of energy, even as you're laying here on your back. Nothing is stuck. And so anywhere that you might feel any kind of stuckness in your physical body, just imagine it open and flowing. And you can feel how the breath is open and flowing, and there's nothing stopping your breath. It might be very shallow, might be a very super calm breath, like a very, very relaxed breath, but it's still not constricted or tight or rough. Some people say coarse. The breath can be coarse. It's very smooth. And you can feel your belly, like in our belly, sometimes we have a lot of sensation around feeling anxious, or we can get, symptoms in our gut when we're worried or sad or depressed. So just imagining that not only is everything flowing well in your gut, but it's also just softening and relaxing just like the rest of your body. So there's kind of like no knots, or nothing is constricted or tight. It's just very, very much relaxing, just like the rest of you. Like unwinding, all of these places in our body, unwinding. Bringing our nervous system back into this state of greater calm. Recharging ourselves. Moving a little further down, deeper into your pelvis, just feeling the bowl shape of your pelvis and all of those organs that are nestled into your pelvis and lower abdomen. Also just settling back and releasing any tension or any kind of blockages. Everything's just flowing and relaxed. Bringing yourself back to the breath, just feeling the breath coming in and out through your nose in this same flowing way. Just reconnecting with that. Your breath like a river. Sometimes we think of it as waves coming in and out. You could also think of your breath as like a flow of, like a river, like a flowing, never ceasing flow of breath coming in and out of your body. And so with this kind of openness in our body and this freedom that we feel when our nervous system is calmed down and we can be a little bit more grounded, and it gives us a chance to come back within ourselves, so that when it's time to go back out into the world, we're a little bit more able to be skillful in our actions. So we do our practice for ourselves, but ultimately we're doing it for others as well, so that we can be more skillful. We can take more skillful actions. We're not trying to just go inside and hide from the difficulties. We are preparing ourselves to confront them in the most intelligent and skillful way that we can, and to have some control over our reactions to things. There's a time for reacting, and reacting isn't always bad, but we want to have some choice about it. So this is why we practice, and it's really important right now as we're confronting such important issues in our lives and in the world, that we have choice about our behaviors and our reactions, or shall we say our responses. There's a lot of things to be angry about and to be reacting to right now. There always are, but things are very, the world is really on fire right now in some ways, in some very good ways, needed ways, shall we say. So bringing ourselves into a place where we can confront those things consciously. So taking a few more breaths here into this body that is now really relaxed and is surrendered, and taking one last kind of scan through and noticing if there's anywhere where you're still feeling like you're holding on, that you could just take one last moment to release, to surrender. Because you're safe here in your body. You've created a space for this. It's a practice. You've created a space for your practice. And so just allowing yourself to let go physically, maybe emotionally, mentally, to lay it down. And then from there, if you're coming back into your evening, I don't think you are, but You could come back to your seat for a couple breaths, or you can just stay, of course, on your back. So just taking a couple, coming up to your seat and finding your sit bones grounded, finding your long spine. If you're staying on your back, just bringing yourself into a couple of a little bit more deeper, more conscious breaths before we close. So inhaling and exhale. Inhale, continuing to keep your long spine and to soften your shoulders and stay relaxed. Exhale. Inhale all the way up the spine, up through the crown of the head. Exhale, contracting within, keeping that length in your spine. Keeping your face relaxed. And then you could bring your hands together at your heart and bow your head to your own practice, to your own inner teacher, your higher self, or your higher power. Namaste. Thank you so much.